got 3 o'clock, so you're all set to go.
Thank you. Welcome to the Board of Health hearing on February the 25th. I would like to do a roll call for the quorum purpose. Dr. Guagaloli.
Here.
Dr. Kenneth.
Here.
Dr. Leskow.
Here.
Dr. Christine Bear.
Here.
Dr. Well. And Tom Lee is here. And staff, Tom McKeon.
Here.
And we have the quorum. This meeting is being recorded and broadcasted on the town of the Barnstable's government's access channel. This meeting will also be televised via Xfinity Channel 8 or High Definition Channel 1072. In accordance with the Mass General Law, Chapter 38, Section 20, please let the chair know if anyone is desiring to make such a recording on this transmission. Seeing none, we have a full agenda this afternoon. So we have to finish this meeting before 6 because there is another meeting right after us at 6. So hopefully I'll try my best to finish this meeting before that. The first one is the so-called hearing. Andresa Arajo, 7 Erin Lane, Hyannis, maps parcel 291-017-011, due to the disconnections to the septic system and on-site nitro system components and installation of a new septic tanks without obtaining a septic permit. Anyone? Please come up. Do you want to sign your name on the piece of paper? So there is a piece of paper on the table there. So when you come up, please sign in so that we have a record of who's here. Huh? In print, yeah, so that we can read it because the secretary is not here. You can either speak there or you can speak here. It's up to you.
I prefer here. So I bring this letter so you guys can understand what I'm talking because I'm Brazilian, so my English is not so well. So I'm just.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So my name is, dear Board of Health members, and all you guys do. My name is Andresa Araújo. I'm the owner of the house located in 7 Erin Lane in Hyannis. Last year in November, was started a new foundation, as we have a building permit for that. And when we dig the hole, was observed that the septic tank had a huge leaking. During this emergency, we promptly initiate measures to resolve the problem. The company to clean the septic tank was called. The new septic tank from the factory that I brought in South Yarmouth, we called them as well. Warren Miranda and Edward Stones were hired, who are the licensed septic installer and the engineer, following the guidelines of the health department. The installation was completed following the guidelines of the engineer Edward Stones. On several occasions, the Board of Health was in my house during the septic installations and spoke with Warren Miranda. I saw through my window. Even so, in the same week, I went to the Board of Health on the main street in Hyannis to make sure the professionals I hired were in compliance with the Board of Health requirements. At this time, I was informed by Mr. Thomas that he was aware of the 2 professionals, Edward and Warren Miranda, and that everything was complying. So Warren Miranda completed the installation of the septic tank as instructed by the engineer Edward. I paid Warren Miranda from the service on November 19 of last year, November 19, right? I have the copy of the check here. Also, I paid Mr. Edward Stones as well. And then this year, I received this letter to attend in this meeting. And I called Edward because he's the engineer responsible for that. And he's on vacation right now. He will come back in 1 month. And he sent me the certified plot plan, which I have here. And he's working on the project, so I know it's not done, the paperwork's not done, but they are working on it. So I don't know why it's taken so long. I was surprised because I paid for I was taught that everything was fine, but wasn't. So I'm here to ask your help. Here's if anyone wants to see the plot plan that the engineer sent to me.
We need a plot plan to the staff. We don't need it because I think we need that for the record in here. For the reason,
For the permanent process.
for the
correct.
permit purposes.
Do you want some?
Yes,
Yeah.
please.
The reason I want to explain that the whole situation
Thank you.
is,
Thank you.
is there is some history behind this. Many years ago, when this property came up, the discussions was at the time, if I remember right, I think Don was there, Paul may be there,
Yes.
is the bedroom count change from 3 bedroom to 4 bedrooms. And that's why at that time, we're kind of asking to have a nitrogen reducing systems. And C. Crocker came in and offered a help and installed the systems. And suddenly, the next thing I know is suddenly the system is disconnected and nothing is going through the paperwork. We have nothing to follow through. That's the complaint. Am I right, Star?
Yeah, that's a short story.
Yeah.
This is not the first time there's been a problem with the nitro at that property, as you're aware.
Right.
There was a complaint a few years ago about the issues with the nitro. This time it's disconnected, apparently.
Right. So, what? No, my mic is on. So the question is not really to you. The question is to the engineer. Where is your application? Where is the form? What is the reasons why this disconnects the nitro system that you install in the system with the nitrogen reducing capability? And suddenly, this is a standard Title V tank system. You may not know the answer, but I'm not pushing
Yeah,
you.
no, I'm just want to tell you that everything is working right now. And the company, the weird thing is because the company who monitor the system, they have sent me emails that telling me that they are inspecting the house every month. So I was like, so everything's good because no complaint through here. They have another meeting scheduled for renting the house next month. They have me send the emails for that. So.
Okay.
Tom, if I may.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, so to clarify, the engineers downgraded your system. They made it worse than what it was before by disconnecting the nitro system. Okay, there was an agreement with the Board of Health because there were more bedrooms there than expected, that the compromise was if you put in a quality system that gets rid of the nitrogen, that was an agreement with the board.
But
But now that system that better system has been removed, and it's back to a non-nitro system.
Like I said, I don't say much about this, but
Yeah.
as I know, they don't touch the nitro system. They didn't touch the nitro system. I don't know. I don't understand at all. But
I'm not
think
asking you
they-
to. I'm not asking you to explain it because this is the question that we have for your installer and the engineer. Okay.
So should we table this until
So,
we can get the installer and the engineer here?
well, before I do that, let me get a public comment first.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Any public comment on these applications? None. I'd like to make a motion to table this to March the 25th. Wait until your engineer and installer are available for the discussion on this.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah, go ahead.
What's happening with the stuff that's in the septic tank now? Where is it going? Is it going anywhere?
It's working. It's working. They
How
they
can it
did
be
the job.
working?
Everything's working. Nothing going to the floor.
It's working as a standard septic system.
No, I don't know. I don't
The
know.
other thing is, this is November, and now we're in February,
February.
end of February. Why wait 3 or 4 months to bring this to a,
Well, because
We
we just,
received another complaint.
yeah.
We've been receiving complaints,
But
several
Complaints
several
from who?
complaints. Well, we can't release the names.
from
That's
neighbors?
No, we don't release the names
No,
of complaints.
was it a complaint from neighbors?
No,
No,
Not this complaint like smell or anything?
no.
no. Let's talk about it next month. Table this into next month. I make the motions.
Second.
Seconds. All in favor? Aye. So we table this in next month. We will get a notification to your engineer and the installer to come
okay,
and let them explain the reasons.
all right, fine now.
Okay?
Thank
Thank
you.
you. The second one is a failed septic systems. Lena and Edward Lakowski's owner, 129 Hayes Road, Centerville, failed septic system located within Phase 1 CWMP plans request a variance to continue the use of a failed system until public sewer becomes available. Anyone? Let's table this into next month, March 25th.
Second.
We'll notify John and the homeowner.
That's amazing. This is about the 5th time this has been continued.
Right. So I'll make the motions.
Terrible.
Dan the seconds. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
I just want to say, we only have a couple more months before
Yeah.
they try to move back into the house for the summer, so board can take other alternative action if they wish in the future
Well,
about
if they
this
don't show up
situation.
next month, then we'll have to make a determinations because they're supposed to move in May, supposedly the time frame, because they only come here for the summer.
So do we determine the house is uninhabitable until the issue is resolved?
That could be an option,
That
yes.
could be an option.
We should probably tell them that's an option, so that maybe somebody will show up.
Yeah,
I think that's a good
yeah.
idea.
Yeah. The third one is compost toilets. Daniel Joyce, contractor of Daniel Joyce Constructions, representing Hyannis Golf Club, 2 Irving Avenue, Hyannis, map parcels 266-031, requesting permissions to install a compost toilet. You must be Daniel.
I am.
Do you want to take a seat and mark your name down so that you can read it, so that the secretary can read it? And do you want to say anything about this?
We're building a new,
Speak to the mic.
we're building a new men's and women's bathroom out by the practice facility between the 13th and 14th hole. It's going to be a composting toilet. There's no sink. They'll have a hand sanitizer. The equipment's already on site. The company that we're buying it from is called Clivis. I believe there's several all the way already over at New Seabury Golf Course. They're all over the Cape. The Audubon Society has it. It requires a minimal amount of maintenance, and New Seabury says they usually have it pumped about once a year. So in the Title V documents, it says that licensed septic company has to pump it,
Install.
and we will do that.
And the installer too. But just before I go there, any public comment on this one? None? Staff?
Just passing along information from the town plumbing inspector that a plumbing permit is required. We have no objections.
Any question from the board member?
No, I think if it's fine with the staff, that's fine with me.
Yeah, the compost toilet that you mentioned is quite common in the Cape. I know of many facility has that. So I think that will be
This
fine.
company's done quite a few on the Cape.
Right. Could I have a motion to approve the request?
So moved.
All in favor?
Aye.
Christine seconds. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Septic variance, Timothy Grace, Ty and Bond Engineering representing the town of Barnstable, 425 Sandy Neck Road, Barnstable, map parcel 263-001 for the septic system improvement associated with Sandy Neck Beach facility. Variance requested from sections 360-1 and 360-47 of the town of Barnstable Code and 310 CMR 15.4051A and 310 CMR 15.2203 of the State Environmental Code Title V. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Tim Grace from Ty and Bond. This is Nina Coleman. She's with the town of Barnstable. We are here on behalf of essentially the Sandy Neck Beach relocation project. So a portion of that project involves relocating the gatehouse approximately 300 feet up Sandy Neck Beach Road, and that gatehouse has a septic system associated with it. And so the plan is, in essence, to relocate the gatehouse, and right now, the system is fed through, it discharges to a septic tank, and then the septic tank goes to a pump chamber, and it's pumped up to an existing leach field. We'd like to keep the leach field online, and essentially just, once the gatehouse has been relocated, put the gatehouse effluent into a septic tank, and then gravity feed that existing leach field. All of the work takes place on the existing parcel. It's about 1,100 acres. There's no change in occupancy for the buildings at all. Actually, one of the bathrooms is going to be removed from the gatehouse and turned into storage. So one could make the case that the flows would actually be reduced. And we'd like to keep the existing tank and pump chamber that's there now. We would essentially pump it, clean it, and then fill the existing, or grout the existing invert that's there, but keep it in place because in the future there may be a desire to put a bathroom in the maintenance building that's, the maintenance garage, I should say, that's out there. Obviously, if that were going to happen in the future, we'd come back in front of the board, but that's essentially the rationale for the septic variance for section 364-7. Besides that variance, we're seeking another one from section 360-1 of the Barnstable Board of Health regs, and that's for components within the 100-foot wetland setback. We did our best to keep the components as far away from the wetlands as possible, but the tank just barely touches that 100-foot buffer. The other two variances, 310 CMR 15.4051A, and that's for crossing the property lines. So I should probably mention, all the property up there is all owned by the town of Barnstable. All the abutters to the property are town properties. And then the other one would be 310 CMR 15.223. That variance is for plans that are essentially components that are within 5 feet of a property line. There's a requirement for
Setback.
an engineer to be, or a registered surveyor to stamp the plan. Because all of these properties are under common ownership, and like I said, it's an 1,100 acre parcel that's essentially surrounded by town land. We're seeking a variance from that regulation as well. And that's essentially it in a nutshell. Happy to answer any questions anybody has.
Thank you. Any public comment on this one? Seeing none, staff?
No objections. I just ask, if you're going to keep the septic tank and pump chamber, we make, every day we require demolition or filling in of septic tanks when houses are connected to sewer, and we explain the possible safety issue. So my question is, would there be some kind of deadline as far as how many years or decades you're going to allow that to stay underground based on deterioration of the component?
How old is the system?
Ooh, it's old. I have a record drawing here from 1990. And it's an old single compartment tank as well.
Usually a concrete precast tank probably have a lifetime of 30 to 40 years.
Mm-hmm.
So we are in the tail end of that. So I would put a limit of, say, let's say 3 years. Mm-hmm. Take a look at it and check the physical condition of that tank. If you want to reuse it, make sure that you check it and the structure is fine, then you can reuse it. But
Okay.
let us know. Is that fair?
Absolutely.
Okay. Question from the board member.
Has this got anything to do with the system that's under the parking lot?
This does not, no, we're not
Oh.
touching that system. This is just a small system it's essentially
At
on
the
the.
gatehouse?
Yeah, at the gatehouse, exactly.
This is part of that resiliency projects for the Sandy Neck Beach because the existing gatehouse flooded a couple of times. And that's why they want to relocate or a high elevations to avoid the flooding. And this is septic system is necessary for that, so.
And why aren't we doing a nitrogen reducing system?
We're not actually touching the existing leach field or the distribution box. We're essentially just
further away.
disconnecting.
Could I have a motion to approve this request and allowing the 3 years to inspect the supposedly abandoned systems for the septic tank within 3 years? Make sure that everything is right before you can reuse it. So I make the motions. Anyone second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Do you want any of these plans back?
No, thank you.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Nice to see you, Lena. The next one is Matthew Diavelia and Douglas A. Brown, Inc., septic installer, 139 Old Stage Road, Centerville, mapped parcel 189-086-001, proposed demolitions and constructions of structures, variance request from Section 310 CMR 15.203 of the State Environmental Code Title 5.
How are you? So we were here, I think it was last year, for a variance to remove part of the septic until sewer was available. What we want to do now is tear down the existing house. He's got a mold report with the mold spore content is very high. Footprint of the house is actually going to be a little smaller than what's there. No increase in flow. I've looked at the septic tank and the leach pit again. Leach pit is still empty. So basically, no increase in flow or nothing, and it's on phase 1 of sewer, so supposedly that'll be ready to be hooked up in the next couple of years.
Any public comment on this one? None, staff?
No objections.
And we have confirmed that they would be, the public sewer is available in 2 years for them to connect, right?
Yep, you did that last time, yeah.
Yeah, it was 2 years, 4 years ago.
Okay. I read through your documentations. Everything seems to be fine. The only thing I want to correct is one of the sentence that you mentioned, which is not correct right now, is because it's mentioned that I know that they, on the Stewart Creek sewer projects, that the homeowner are given a 20 years lifespan on their existing septic system. Therefore, you're looking for hookup, and you're looking for that. So that idea is no longer apply.
No, we're not on the Stewart's Creek section.
I know.
Oh,
but
oh,
There's a sentence
Oh,
that
someone,
mentioned that.
did you put that?
No,
Okay.
I didn't.
All right, yeah, no, we know that.
So I just want to
Yeah.
correct that for the record, because it has, I'll mention that when we go to the sewer extension variant stuff. Okay. So, any question on the board member?
So which house is it? The proposed dwelling or the proposed cottage?
Dwelling,
The dwelling.
yeah.
And that dwelling exists now?
Yes.
But the cottage doesn't?
Nope, the cottage is there as well.
It's there
Yeah,
now?
it's not being used, though. There's 2 people in the house. The water readings were extremely low. And like I said, the leach pit is dry.
I think that's going to be sewered pretty soon anyways.
2 years.
Yep.
Yeah. Could I have a motion to approve?
Motion.
Second. So Paul is motion, and then Dan is seconds. All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
Good luck.
Thank you.
The next one is Darren Meyer and Son Engineering representing the property owner Christopher Parental, 30 Redwood Lane, Hyannis, map parcel 288-083, requesting variance for limited lot size variance request 310 CMR 15.211 of the State Environmental Code, Title 5. Hello, Darren.
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
I'm here representing the owner, Chris Parento, for a septic system upgrade at 30 Redwood Lane in Hyannis. Based on the limited lot size and the location of the existing plumbing and other obstructions on the property, the only location available to construct the septic system is limited size and leaves us with the necessity for variances to the lot line and to the dwelling for both the tank, proposed tank, and the proposed leaching. We're about 5.3 feet off the property line with both the tank and the leaching, and then about 6 feet off the foundation with both the tank and the leaching. Really no other options there. So I'm happy to answer any questions.
Any public comment on this one? Seeing none. Staff?
Staff has no objections.
Any question from the board member?
No.
No? Could I have a motion to approve the septic request?
Second?
So Paul motions and Dan second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank
Want
you.
any plans back?
No, I'm good. Thank you so much.
So the next item is the sewer connections and extension request. Before I start these sections, I just want to mention a couple of things in here. Number one, the town has committed to do this CWMP and provide the town sewer, and for a significant financial cost to the town. The focus point is to improve the water quality in our embayment, and this is a requirement from DEP. Part of the permit, the town has applied for a watershed permitting. At the end of the permitting process, there is a monitoring component of it. And so we want, as a board, we want to have the town residents connected when the public sewer is available, so that the embayment will see the performance from the sewer connections, so that at the end of it, the DEP will see the result of the improvement under the embayment. I understand that there is some difficulty in terms of different households, in terms of whether it's a financial, whether it's the, whatever the situation is. We're trying to understand that, and we try to make certain accommodations to it. But ultimately, we still want to have the homeowner connecting to the sewer to make this work, because otherwise, if half of the people does not want to connect, then the whole CWMP will fail, because they are not going to meet the permitting requirement according to the monitoring period at the end of the project life. So that's why I just want to throw it out there first. Second one, I talked to Angela from the ARCA fund from the county that provide the loan. If you qualify for the loan, it would be 0% or even 2% low interest loan, depending on what your income level is. So you have to go and discuss with them and see what you qualify or not, and then they can have a, depending on your financial situation, you can have, let's say, 20 years payment plan or whatever the stuff is that you can negotiate with them. And I heard the feedback from her is a lot of the residents applying for the fund and mentioning that they're nervous about the 6 months connection policy. And what I told Angela is, at the end, we need to know, the board need to know whether you have applied for the loan and whether you are approved for the loan. If you are approved for the loan, whether you have a contract to show to the Board of Health, and we can extend this connection time for you based on whatever the construction schedule that you have. because we know that there's only X amount of contractor available out there. And so we understand that piece. So 6 months is the initial policy that we set up to do so that you have time to arrange this. And so that when you come back and asking for additional time, just tell us what the effort that you have done towards that goal, and we can grant you that additional 6 months, a year or something. So moving forward, I think that's the policy. I just wanted to mention that so everyone is on the same page to this. I think the board members all agree with this kind of policy. Am I right?
Yes.
The first 6 months is actually without a hearing.
Right.
It's an internal process at the health division.
Right.
If you have a contract or a loan or both.
Right. So I just want to please put it out there so that everyone understands it. So the first one is Robert and Lori Parks, owner to 429 Phyllis Lane, Sandyville, map parcel is 230-099, phase 1, SEWH-24-306, requesting an extension to connect to the public sewer.
Good afternoon. I'm Bob Parks, representing my wife and myself for 429 Finney's Lane. We received the notice in early January. I've contacted 20 different contractors. I have 3 quotes in a month and a half. So that's a slow process. I did not know about the loan process. All right, I'll get on that afterwards and what's involved in that. So I can't give you much more than that at this point. But out of 20 contractors, that's a pretty low hit ratio. So either they're busy or this is not a project up they want to do, or whatever type of thing. Our system is fairly new. It's only 15 years old. It's newer design. It's regularly maintained. It's pretty much used for only 4 months out of the year. I don't know if that weighs that much in your decision to extend, but it's not going to add much nitrogen to the system, hopefully in the time frame if we get an extension. But I'm looking for an extension at some point in time. Whether you need to see more out of me before that, you'll have to let me know.
Thank you. Any public comment on this one? Staff?
Staff doesn't have a comment. We don't know what the request is. How much time is requested?
You guys wanted 6 months to get it done. I'd like at least a year.
Another year added to the 6 months?
Yes, please.
Yeah.
No objection. The staff has no objections.
Okay. Board member, any question?
That sounds reasonable, given the pressure that the contractors are feeling.
Well, because the issue is because so many towns are doing the sewer projects, and they assign all the contract left and right. And so the contractor availability is getting low. And I can totally understand that stuff. So I don't have a problem to give you a year.
All right, thank you.
Okay. Could I have a motion to approve the 1-year extension on this property?
So moved.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
I'm against.
You're against? 4-1. Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Before you move on, should there be a condition to have, within a certain amount of time, at least give us contractor information or something for the record?
Well, for the 1 year, when that one,
Okay.
before the 1 year, you would have the information to bring it back, because by the time that 1 year expire, you need to come back,
Right.
right? So you need to bring the information back and say,
Do I have to
okay,
come in front of the board again, or do I turn around and just give it to the town?
I would just give it to the town.
If it's within the 1-year
If it's
extension.
within, if it's within the
All
year
right,
and you
yeah,
don't
just-
require an extension.
I can fax or email a copy of the contract, and we're good to go.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Who makes sure that they do come back in contact? They
would
don't
say
get lost in the shuffle.
I would say the staff, we can put
We
it on
have
the
we have
calendar.
a sewer monitoring program. It's an OpenGov computer application that tracks everything. We upload everything into that record
Right.
and keep track. And if we track who's connected, who's not connected, if extensions were granted, all that information's in there.
Cool.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you for coming.
Appreciate it, guys.
The second is Stephen and Linda Harding, owner 1118 Phyllis Lane, Centerville, map parcel 273-093, Phase 1 SEWH-24-41410, requesting extensions to public sewer.
Good
Hello.
afternoon.
Good afternoon. Can you mark down your name on the piece of paper so we know?
So my request is a little unusual.
You're Linda, right?
I am. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm Linda Harding. My husband and I own the property. In 1994, we purchased the property for my mother to live in. She has lived there by herself since. We do not charge her rent. She's my mom. And she pays for the water bill and she pays for this town property taxes. I'm requesting an extension for a financial hardship. My husband and I are both semi-retired. We can't afford the extra fee that will be going on the taxes, nor can my mother, who is literally at poverty level. Unfortunately, because we are not owner-occupied, we are not eligible for a 0% loan, and the interest loan for a non-owner-occupied is much higher. I was asking for a request for an extension. It's going to sound morbid, but if I could have it until my mother passes, and then we would be selling the house immediately, and the owner would be able to get a low or no interest loan as that would be owner occupied.
Any public comment on this one? This is a difficult one. Staff?
Staff has no comments.
Any board member has a comment?
I have no issue with it.
No?
I mean, we're not, do we really want to force mom to be ejected from the place that she's lived for 30 years? I mean, we know that that could lead to a deterioration just because of the unfamiliar environment. And, I mean, it's not a good situation, but I have no objection to trying to figure out a way that we can keep mom where she is. And then, you know, if the house is going to be sold, now, we may need to do it in increments. We may need to say, I don't know that we can say, you know, indefinitely as opposed to a year or 2 year or 3 year extension or something like that. But I don't think we should be forcing an 86-year-old out of their house.
Thank you.
So I'm surprised to hear that you can't qualify for the 0% interest loan. I think what I'd rather see is that they make an exception for that and allow you to get the 0% or 2% interest loan so that you could move forward with hooking up to septic, because the cost is going to be paid sooner or later by you. It's either going to be paid now, or it's going to come out of the value of the house when you sell it.
That's correct, and we understand that. And
You're not, right, nobody's making any money by doing it a different way, so,
Do we know if we can impact that?
I don't know if we can impact that or not.
My
So-
guess is they're not real lenient if you're not owner occupied.
And the issue is the betterment, the amount of the betterment that's going to be going on, the quarterly taxes. That's where it's going to be the issue, is that fee every single quarter that's due with the property taxes.
Yeah, this board doesn't control that aspect.
Yeah.
So your fees go up once you're connected to sewer?
It's not, yeah, but the betterment, doesn't the betterment go on the tax bill, and that's going to be paid quarterly? It's usually the betterment is like 8 or 10 to 20 years.
That's not possible.
Yeah.
Because the reason I'm calling the ARCA fund, because of your situations, that I want to understand what's available out there.
Yeah.
And I also talked to the town financing managers, and several years ago, we talked about these options, but this option was never, finalized, so it's not available at all. When I talked to the ARCA fund, the lady said, because you're not really the primary resident, so that you cannot qualify for 0%.
Right.
and they cannot do the abandonment fee, and because you have to pay the principal, ongoing principal. If you're doing at the backside,
Right.
your charge will be like 14-15% charge.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's very mind-boggling in terms of whether there's a financing help or not.
Right, and I didn't even consider the ones it hooks up, but that's minor compared to, honestly, compared to the quote that we got was $12,800. And the contractor required a 50% deposit upon signing of the contract.
So I totally understand because your mother, I agree with Dawn. I mean, we don't want to kick any mothers out from the house, period. I mean,
Thank you.
that's for us. We look, because the problem is that we are living in the sandwich generations. We have to look up our parents and we have to look up our kids, and we have to cover both.
And I've lived here my whole life. I'm not against connecting to the sewer. It's just financial. That's what's terrifying me and keeping me up at night about this.
So the only thing, I don't think that we can give you an forever type deal.
Understood.
I would rather do a 2 years or 3 years, and then you can come back 3 years and say, okay, my condition didn't change, nothing happened, and so forth. We can extend that piece.
That would be great.
I think, would that be acceptable, Tom?
Yes, I think so, yes.
Could I have a motion to approve an extension for 3 years, and then they can come back after 3 years?
So moved.
And for that,
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you.
Thank you.
The next one is Gail and Martina Shami, owner, 251 Phyllis Lane, Centerville, map parcel 230-162, phase 1, CWSEWH 24-331, requesting an alternate connections location at Great Marsh Road when connections becomes available in 2030. Good afternoon.
Okay, hi. So our, am I talking?
Hi, we're
Don't be
Tahar
shy.
and Gail Jansen.
Yes. So we're at 251 Finney's Lane. It's at the corner of Finney's Lane and Great Marsh Road. So the request is to, instead of connecting on Finney's Lane, to connect at Great Marsh. Our driveway is on Great Marsh. The septic is in the back of the house. We have had one contractor come and provide quotes, essentially to go from the back of the house all the way around, 3 turns, over 180 degrees, to the front, to Finney's Lane is 140 feet. $9,000 to go.
How much?
$9,000. To go in the back, it would be 1 turn out to Great Marsh Road, estimate of 100 feet, not knowing where the tie-in is. And that was estimated at $6,800. The other consideration, which I put in my request, is we're not currently, this is not our principal residence, but it may be soon. We don't have an exact timing, but we would like to take advantage of the state's, tax credits for the septic connections, which could be as much as, I believe, $4,000 in a year. But those have to be taken in the year that the project's completed. So currently, with the January 17th receipt of the Board of Health letter, that would place us having to do that this year for Finney's Lane. So our request is to wait until the septic is brought down Marsh, in the Shoot Flying Hill Great Marsh Road project.
Any public comment on this one? Staff?
We received an email from Ansley on January 31st that states as the following: Great Marsh Road is anticipated to have sewer installed as part of the town's Great Marsh Road, Chute Flying Hill Road expansion project, currently scheduled for construction in 2028 through 2030. As it concerns 251 Finney's Lane, the project will be installing gravity sewer on Great Marsh Road, which the subject property could be provided a sewer service from if the change is approved by the Board of Health. The current connection path to Finney's Lane is technically feasible and could be installed in a similar manner to many of the properties being required to connect. That said, the current connection route to Finney's Lane, which includes more bends, the proposed connection route to Great Marsh Road would be more direct. So my understanding is it's approvable to the Board of Health if you wish to approve this. DPW has no objections according to how I read this, correct?
That's how I read it too, but I have a question.
But one of the comment was the assessment, the sewer assessment could be higher in the new locations that you have to
We're
consider.
willing to accept that.
I'm assuming it's better to have fewer
Yes.
corners, so,
It's actually in the guidance that's put out in a letter that was provided to us, not to go over the 180 degrees
Or more than two bends.
from the town, or more than 2 bends.
so this would be a better connection and less expensive, although it may be more expensive for them as far as the assessments going forward.
Right, right.
Now, I know this house very well, because I go by there 3 or 4 times a day. And it is a much easier run to go to Great Marsh Road. But Great Marsh Road probably won't be sewered for 5 years. So the betterment fee, which is now, the hookup fee, or the betterment fee as you go by your house, the pipe is now $10,000. In 5 years, it might be $15,000.
Okay.
And then the hookup was, the difference in the hookup is a couple of $1,000 difference. So if I owned the house, I'd hook it up now rather than take a chance on that higher betterment fee, because if they say it's 5 years, it might be 6 or 7 or 8.
But I
But
think maybe,
that's-
if I may, you're not factoring in that we don't qualify for the tax credit this year. So that's an
I
extra
don't know anything about
$4,000.
that, yeah.
But this is a second home for you right now,
Right,
and it may become a primary, or you're anticipating
our
becoming a
intention.
primary residence fairly
Yes.
soon.
So,
It also doesn't take into effect that there's a cap on the betterment fees, correct, for the town and the taxes? Didn't the town council vote to put a cap on that?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, caps on taxes aren't something that I necessarily.
On the sewer assessment
Sewer
fee.
assessment, you're right.
That was capped at
That's
$10,000.
for this one project.
Right,
Right.
right. The other things I just want to mention about the tax credit. The tax credit-wise from the state is limited to $1,500 a year for 4 years. So you can take a look at that, but
It's
that's
limited
how
to
it
what,
reads.
Tom?
What?
What did you say, it's limited to what?
The tax credit from the state for your income tax, it's only limited to $1,500 a year for 4 years. So you have to calculate your own in terms of your financing and how do you want to take your tax credit from that. You cannot take the whole chunk in 1 year from the state credit.
But in the end,
okay,
this
so,
is their gamble
Right.
Yeah.
and kind of their
not
decision.
to correct, but as of October 4th, 2023, that was increased to $4,000 a year. It's right in your handbook.
And I think the other thing in their favor is that it's a better hookup
Connections.
to Finney's, to Great Marsh.
And it's not a failed septic system, so,
No,
I mean,
no.
I mean, we don't
I
want to
have no
have an
objection.
issue with going all the way around the house. And what the contractor said is because of that, it would be that much deeper to go to the connection for Finney's Lane. So given right now our septic is a complete straight shot out the back, I think for any of these systems that have multiple turns, who knows if they're going to cause a problem in the future.
Okay. Could I have a motion to approve this extension request to an alternate locations at Great Marsh Road?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Can you do me one favor? Because this is your first case that DPW is doing it as an alternate locations.
Okay.
If there is any questions coming back, let us know. Sure. Because I want to know the extent of it, because this is a first trial case to me.
We haven't approved this for anybody else
No,
yet.
this is the
what we're
first one.
saying.
So I'm just,
So you're
Not
approved
confused.
to connect just to the new location.
okay,
You're not counted as having to connect to the current location.
right.
But if there's any other question coming back from the DPW saying that you're not allowing all that stuff, I need to know.
Okay.
That's
So
what I'm saying.
I did, once I spoke to the director, speak to the person in the DPW, and she said that she would see this and that they did not have an issue
Correct.
from the DPW side.
That's correct. Yep.
I hope that's the case.
Okay.
I'm doubtful about taxes, he's doubtful about that.
All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
The next one is Susan Swart, owner, 140 Walquaca Lane, Centerville, map parcel 2501-156, phase 1, SEWH-24-361, requesting an extension to connect the public sewer.
Tom, can we tell her she doesn't need to go through that? I mean, she wasn't even here her sewer when she did. Can you let her? I mean, this is a horrible situation. Doesn't need to be publicly aired. We all have the letter. We all know what
Yeah.
the issue is.
Right.
That's true, yeah.
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 We got your letter, and we were just talking behind the scene. You don't have to mention on your letter stuff. I think we got your letter. We understand your situations. So are you good with that for now?
Okay, you sure? Because I can answer any questions.
I'll let the board member ask any questions in case, there's any questions.
Sure.
Staff,
Staff has no comment. The only question we have is how much time is being requested for the
Right.
extension, that's all.
I would like at least 6 months, if not longer. According to my lawyer, this could take another year.
How about we do a year?
The second and last sentence in the letter, which is very nice, says, "I am asking for you to extend this until the end of the year."
At least, like I
So-
said, this,
6 months would be September, the end of the year would be December.
no, I would entertain a year,
Yeah,
just to give you a little
That's
bit more
good.
room.
so moved.
Second,
Second.
Second.
all in favor?
Oh,
Approve. We'll
Thank
give you
you.
an extension of 1 year.
thank you very much. I appreciate that.
Thank you.
Thank you for the thoroughness.
The next one is Gina Del Famo, PO 8 for property owner Rebecca Morrow, 319 Strawberry Hill Road, Centerville, map parcel 248-299, phase 1, SEWH 24-103, requesting extension to connect to the public sewer.
Same thing here.
Yeah,
Yeah, staff has no objections or comments.
Okay.
No need to read the letter.
We have your letter. Is there anything that you want to say, or just leave us for us asking you questions?
Well, I have already gotten 3 estimates, and I'm in the process of doing the application for the Aqua Fund. I don't know how much the payment or what she'll qualify for, but that's kind of where I'm at. So I am working on it, among other things going on. I don't know how long the process will take me. So
How
what,
about a one-year extension?
Are you Gina?
I'm Gina,
Okay.
yes.
And, you know, if you run into issues,
Yeah.
come back.
Okay,
Yeah, that's
okay.
Right, right. Any other question from the board member? Could I have a motion to approve the extension request for 1 year?
Okay.
Motion for 1-year extension.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
1 year extension. Thank you.
Thank you.
The next one is Dr. William and Fanny, owner, 6 Linda Lane, INS map parcel 248-060, Phase 1 SEWH-24-202, requesting an alternate connections location at Linda Lane when connections becomes available in 2032.
Mr. Chairman, is this where I mentioned that
Sure.
as Chief Medical Officer at Cape Cod Healthcare for a number of years, obviously Dr. Finney was somebody who I knew.
Okay. Thanks.
Hi, good afternoon. I'm Mary Ann Finney, and I own the home on 6 Linda Lane, and you guys want to install from Strawberry Hill. However, the side and the rear of the property are completely fenced, heavily landscaped with mature trees lining the entire periphery, deciduous evergreen, hollies, flowering shrubs. It includes a gazebo, fire pit, and a large cobblestone walkway, even though it isn't a big lot. I spent 30 minutes walking with the excavator, and there's no possible way to avoid devastating this area and expending a large amount of money in the process, especially with landscaping costs. He suggested if we wait until Linda Lane is accessed by the town, it would be a straight, short shot across the front lawn with minimal damage to any vegetation. It would require interior relocation of the sewage pipe, which will impact the basement negatively, but would be worth it to spare the back plantings, especially the trees. Excuse me, I have allergies. The excavator actually advised me to appeal for this option. He was bummed out that he would have to trash the backyard. We agree the town needs to implement the system and have already paid $6,000 plus for the hookup. We're environmentally concerned. We have solar panels on our own home, and decades ago actually donated 8 acres of land to the town for water conservation. It's deeded water. We're just asking for a delay, waiting for when they come up 6 Linda. We can just go right across the front lawn, and it would just be fair, because that's what the neighbors are. We're just asking for what the neighbors have. We're kind of being punished because we're on a corner.
Any public comment on this one? Staff?
Health staff has no comment. There's an email from TPW Ansley Lanier dated January 21st. I don't know if the board members have a copy. It's 2 paragraphs. I don't know if you want me to read the whole thing. Or
Yeah, go ahead.
You do?
Yeah.
TPW provides information to help the Board of Health make their decision, which will include, number 1, if there is a future project to accommodate their preferred location. Number 2, if there is technical merit for the request. I have provided this information below. If approval is given by the Board of Health, the resident should understand that due to utilization of additional sewer infrastructure, their sewer assessment will likely increase. The current cap for sewer assessments set by the Town Council is $10,000. 6 Linda Lane was provided a sewer service off of Strawberry Hill Road during the construction of the Strawberry Hill Road sewer expansion project. Sewer on Linda Lane is anticipated as part of the town's Old Craigville Road sewer expansion project, currently scheduled to begin construction in the year 2030, with connections available in 2032. There is no technical reason that the property cannot connect to the sewer service left on Strawberry Hill Road. If a variance is given by the Board of Health, a sewer lateral could be provided in their preferred location during the future project. That's all. So the board can approve it if they wish.
What is a sewer lateral? I mean, they're gonna have to put the pipe in Linda Lane. Does that mean there's something else they have to do?
I don't have the answer to what that.
I mean, the cost might be considerably more.
It's the terminology that it's kind of confusing, in a sense that sewer lateral to the water department to the sewer department is called the sewer lateral. To a lot of people, it's called the sewer service stuff. So it's depending on how you want to call it. It's the same line.
Same
It's just
line.
a
It's the
line
connection.
connect from your house to the sewer,
Okay.
to the main sewer. That's the line.
So I think what the letter's saying that if we grant it, that their cost might be considerably more.
Right, right.
Again, the cap is $10,000 for the sewer assessment.
That's only for this project, though, not the next project.
Oh, it's per batch or per phase? I wasn't clear on that.
I think it's the first batch is maybe 10,000 for
Yeah,
the next
but it could
batch
be
because the
15
town
the
is
next one.
considering the next, how to financing the next phase. So the number could change. I don't know how that calculate and so forth, but.
So this is basically similar to the earlier one where
Right.
it's their gamble.
Right.
On the one hand, on the other hand, it's
Right.
also
But this one
their
is,
spending, so.
this one is longer, though. They say available in 2032. So, you know.
2 more
they
years.
told us my house would be available in 2024, and now we're getting up to 2028, so.
We're in our 70s, so we could be dead.
Oh, don't say that.
We're hoping not.
We hope not.
But many of us recognize the reality, looking at similarly. But I would look at it the same way. I mean,
Yeah.
it's their gamble, and they've got a functioning septic system. There's nothing wrong with what they have right now, so.
It makes
And it is.
much more sense for the property, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Well, and it is a rental, but the people that live there travel a lot. They're just older adults. And the water bill is minuscule. They're just not there that much, and they do take very nice care of the property, so.
Have you been billed for the $10,000?
We got a bill, I got a bill for 6,000 something that I paid.
That's the assessment, I think.
How do they do that? Do they just bill that when they go buy the house? The
No, the
10,000?
sewer, no, the sewer assessment is to the property right off the bat. Some are 6, depending what it is, but it's capped at 10. So depending
Oh,
on
I
your
see.
sewer assessment could be 12, but it's
Oh,
kept,
so
gonna be
yours
capped
is
at 10.
6, so that's
Some could be
even-
6, so depending on
That's
what your
even better.
assessment is.
I
Okay.
did pay that.
Yeah, yeah,
You did pay that?
yeah.
Oh, so you already paid, so
So-
maybe, I don't know.
Let me do this one here. Could I have a motion to approve the extension request to alternate locations for this property?
So moved.
Anyone second? Second. All in favor?
Aye.
One comment I want to make is contact the DPW as soon as possible so that they can put it on the planning phase, that you want the connections to your house
Okay.
on that new stretch, so that they know about it, so they don't come back and say 5 years later, oh, I don't know about this stuff.
Okay,
Okay?
all right. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Next one is Richard and Lisa McCormick, owner, 566 Phyllis Lane, Centerville, map parcel 250-017, phase 1, SEWH-24-349, requesting a hearing.
Hi, I'm Richard McCormick, owner
Hi.
of the property. We just installed a Title V system 8 years ago for $17,000. We're currently paying your Aqua Fund fee, which was a 30-year loan for that. We're still working on that, and now we've been told that we have to demolish that 8-year-old system and tie into your sewer system at a cost of almost $10,000 that we've been getting quotes for. It's a hard pill to take. I understand it's supposedly for the betterment of the system and the water quality and everything. But we'd just like an extension of a year so we can get through this.
How much time are you asking for?
1 year.
1 year. Okay.
And at the end, so you're willing to?
Oh, yeah, to tie and everything, but like I said, I'm already paying off my other system, which I just installed 8 years ago, that we're going to have to crush and fill.
Right.
And waste money, $17,000. And that's all we just want to get through this year.
Okay. Any public comment on this one? Staff?
No objections, no comments.
Any comment from the board member? I think it's reasonable request for 1 year.
Yeah.
So,
Thank you.
could I have a motion to approve the extension request for 1 year?
So moved.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
The next one is Rebecca Whitney, owner, 8 Huckaneck Road, Centerville, map parcel 251-149, phase 1, SEWH-24-384, requesting a hearing.
Hi, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
I'm Rebecca Whitney. I am requesting an extension beyond July. I inherited my parents' house in 2023 as they are both deceased. I have a financial hardship. I am retired and living solely on Social Security. I'm currently looking for grant money. I don't know if there's any federal money that's still available because of what's going on. But I know there are some grants out there, and I've been making phone calls, and I also will apply for the 0% loan. But I'm asking if I can have an extension because sometimes it takes a long time to secure a grant.
Thank you. Any public comment on this one? Staff?
No objections.
I'm not clear as to how long you're looking for an extension.
Yeah, I didn't say. 6 months to a year?
I think we can give you a 1 year extension to give you some time to deal with the financial situation.
Oh, that would be great. Thank you so much.
Okay.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah, go ahead.
Do you live at that house?
I do. It's.
You know, in my investigation of these things online, I noticed that last year, 2024 taxes, you got the residential exemption.
I did.
But in 2025, they don't have you listed as getting the residential exemption. So that means your taxes are $1,671 more than they should be. And I think in your case, in 2024, your taxes were $2,000 some dollars. In 2025, you're being charged $4,000 and some dollars.
I did get the residential exemption for this year.
Oh, okay. Online, it says you didn't get it.
Yeah, I did.
Oh, okay, good. I'll sleep better tonight.
I sure did.
Yes. All right, you're sure of that?
I am.
Okay.
Actually, my name has been on the
Tried to bring it up on my computer, but I here for some reason I can't get it on online. So
My name has been on the deed of the house since 1998, and I was a remainderman. So when my mom passed away in 2023, I inherited the house.
It's a very nice-looking house.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Could I have a motion to approve the extension request for 1 year?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
You're approved for 1 year.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Yeah. The next one is the foot grease trap extension request. Nicholas Cheesecake, architect representing TRT Hyannis LLC, DBA Star Market, 323 West Main Street, Hyannis, map parcel 428-076, requesting extension to install a new external grease traps requested per sections 322-3 of the Town of Barnstable's Code, grease traps.
Hi, I'm Nicholas Nitschke. I'm the architect working with Star Market. And I guess I just want to give you an update on the progress of the installation for the exterior grease trap. The store is going through a remodel soon. It's being bid out to a couple contractors right now. Their work is going to include that exterior grease trap as part of the work. So the remodel is scheduled to start next month, and that work will be included. So that's where we stand with the progress of that installation.
So let me go to the public comment and we can have this dialogue. Any public comment on this? Staff?
Staff has no objection to an extension. It's been without a grease trap for many years, my understanding, so progress would be welcome in this case. Thank you.
So when is the construction begin, or when do you expect it to be finished?
Do you have those dates?
Yes, sorry, Nadine with Star Market. So we are starting on March 24th to be complete on May 30th.
Oh, so it's 2 months.
Okay.
Any question from the board?
Is there a grease trap there now?
No external.
How could you get away without a grease trap?
There's internal ones right now.
Oh, wow. Because you have sewer.
Yes.
That's
Yeah.
sewer.
Yeah, right.
That's amazing.
So the DPW we prefer to make the external grease traps. So that's why you're installing it right now and avoiding the internal grease traps.
Sure.
So you just need a 3-month extension?
Basically, yeah.
I think let's do 4, just
Yeah,
in case.
I'm concerned, yes.
We don't want you to have to
6.
come back.
Yeah, you can make a motion.
Do I hear
for
5
6
from
months
anybody?
works.
Yeah, make it easy.
Yeah,
That's fine.
yeah, yeah.
Well, that store is a great addition to the town. I mean, you can walk around, you don't get tired, you know? That's terrific.
Yeah. Could I have a motion to approve the extension request for 6 months? So now is what, February, 6 months
Second.
would be, July, right? Oh, sorry,
Moved and seconded.
August.
August,
Yeah.
end of August.
Yeah,
So how about September 1st?
yeah, September
September
1st, fine.
Well, were you ordered by the DPW to put in? Oh, you were, okay.
And by the Health Division, both, yes.
So I make the
Good.
motions. Anyone second?
It got seconded, yeah.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Thank you. The last one is holding tanks, Stephen Ozens, representing Barnstable Fire District's Water Department, 223 Breeze Hill Road, Barnstable, maps parcel 313005-B00, installations of a 2,000-gallon holding tank, amendment from previous approved 5,000-gallon holding tank.
Good afternoon.
Go ahead.
Hi, good afternoon. I'm Steve Olson. I'm with H2 Olson Engineering, representing the Barnstable Fire District Water Department. Sean Anderson, the superintendent, is also here this afternoon. As you mentioned, we're proposing a smaller tight tank. The treatment facility that's now under construction and was approved is 60% smaller than the original design that was submitted in 2022. It's designed for 15 gallons per day of sewer flow. There'll be limited usage there, one person per day, and so we reduced the size of the tight tank.
Any public comment on this one? Staff?
Staff has no objections.
Any question from the board member?
No.
Typically, for a tight tank, the minimum requirement is 2,000 gallons. So this kind of meets the minimum requirement when reduce the footprint of the building and the usage. So I don't have a problem with that. So could I have a motion to approve this change of the tight tank size from 5,000 to 2,000 gallon? You got a
Well,
question?
moved it.
Oh, you move, okay. Anyone second?
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Sean. We have one set of minutes, January the 28th.
Motion to approve.
Anyone second?
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
We approve the meeting minutes, and our next hearing is March 25th. Could I have a motion to adjourn?
Could I ask one question?
Yeah.
On the minute. On the last page, Kerry McNamara, 825 West Main Street. The applicant was not present at the last meeting.
Oh.
And it says, on the last sentence says, the board voted to postpone this extension request to the next regularly scheduled Board of Health meeting on February 25th. What happened, Thomas? They didn't get approved for an appointment, or?
Oh, he apologized for missing the meeting. He had it on the schedule incorrectly. And he followed up the next day with getting a contractor right away. So he's on, it will be connected to sewer. But if you'd like to have him come
So
back.
he doesn't need to come back?
I don't think he needs to come back.
Great.
Because he's following everything we've asked him to do so far.
Okay, good.
Could I have a motion to adjourn?
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
We are adjourning at 4:17.